The designer handbag hit Kiyoma's face before she could dodge it. She crashed into the Hermes display at Shinsegae department store, Christmas ornaments exploding around her as she hit the marble floor. Her cream dress tore at the shoulder. Her lips split open against the metal shelf edge, and blood dripped onto the white floor tiles. For 3 seconds, the entire luxury shopping floor went completely silent. Kiyoma looked up through tears and saw the last person she expected to see in Seoul. Tobechukwu, her ex-fiancé, the man who'd stolen everything from her 3 years ago and disappeared to America. He stood over her now, in an expensive suit she knew he couldn't afford, his arm around a Korean woman dripping in Chanel, and that same cruel smile she remembered from Abuja twisted his features. "Stay down where you belong, village girl," Tobechukwu said in Igbo, then switched to English. "Did you follow me to Korea? Still pathetic after all these years." Kiyoma's hands trembled as she touched her bleeding lip. Security guards rushed over, but stopped when Tobechukwu's companion said something sharp in Korean. Around them, shoppers pulled out phones, recording. Whispers in Korean and English filled the air. He had no idea who she'd become. No idea about the princess-cut diamond under her leather glove that cost more than his father's house in Enugu. No idea about the penthouse in Gangnam she'd left that morning. No idea about the black card in her Prada purse that had no limit. And Tobechukwu definitely had no idea about her husband. Kang Minho, Seoul's most powerful underground king. The man whose security team was currently moving through the crowd. The man whose phone was ringing in her purse right now. Kiyoma's fingers found her phone with shaking hands. 5 missed calls, all from Minho. She answered with blood on her lips. "Where are you?" His voice was ice and fire combined, speaking English with that distinctive Seoul accent she'd learned to love. "You didn't answer." "Shinsegae," she whispered. "I'm okay, just, you're not okay. I hear it. Are you hurt?" "Someone pushed me. My lip is bleeding, but—" The line went dead. Tobechukwu noticed the phone, the designer clothes, the jewelry. His eyes narrowed. "Who was that? Your sponsor? You finally found a Korean man desperate enough to pay your bills? That's your level, Shaw. Selling yourself." The woman beside him laughed. "Appa says women from Africa always look for Korean men with money." Chiyoma's vision blurred with rage and old pain. 3 years ago, Tobechukwu had emptied their joint account the week before their traditional wedding. Took the 40 million naira her parents had saved for their ceremony. Took the bride price his family had paid and never returned. Took everything and disappeared, leaving her family disgraced in their community and buried in debt. She'd worked 3 jobs to pay back money that wasn't even hers. Sold everything she owned. Left Nigeria because she couldn't face the shame. Came to Seoul to teach English and disappear into a city where nobody knew her story. Before we continue this story, I need you to do something. If you've ever had your heart broken by someone who made you feel worthless, if you've ever rebuilt yourself from nothing, hit that subscribe button right now. Drop a comment telling me what this man deserves. Because what's about to happen will give you the satisfaction you've been waiting for. Now let's see what happens when her husband arrives. "You destroyed my family," Kiyoma said quietly, finding her voice. "You took everything." "I took what I deserved," Tobechukwu shot back. "Your parents were showing off, throwing money around for wedding when they should have been investing. I did them a favor. You left me with nothing. My father had a heart attack from the stress. My mother couldn't show her face in church. Our family name was, your family was always too proud. Village people with Lagos money thinking they're special." He stepped closer, aggressive now. "You were never going to be anything, Kiyoma. I saved myself from a woman who would drag me down." Security moved to intervene, but the Korean woman said something sharp, and they backed off. Kiyoma realized with cold certainty that Tobechukwu's companion had influence here, Money. Power. Not enough power. Not nearly enough. The elevator across the floor dinged. 8 men in black suits emerged first, moving like soldiers. Then Kang Min-ho stepped out. At 6'1" with broad shoulders that filled his custom black suit and dark hair styled back from a face that belonged on magazine covers, Min-ho commanded attention effortlessly. But it was his eyes that made people nervous. Sharp, calculating. The eyes of a man who controlled half of Seoul's underground economy and didn't tolerate disrespect. Those eyes landed on Kyoma, on her bleeding lip, her torn dress, the shopping bags scattered around her. His expression went absolutely deadly. Min-ho crossed the floor in 4 strides, his security team creating a barrier around them. He crouched beside Kyoma, his hands gentle on her face, despite the rage she could feel vibrating through him. "Who touched you?" he asked in Korean, then switched to English. "Tell me who hurt you." "It's okay," she whispered. "I'm fine." "You're bleeding." His thumb brushed her lip carefully. "You're crying. Someone put their hands on my wife." The last word came out sharp enough to cut. "So I'll ask one more time. Who?" The entire floor had gone silent. Everyone knew Kang Min-ho by reputation. Billionaire businessman was his public image. But Seoul's underground told different stories. Stories about rivals who challenged him and lost everything. Politicians who crossed him and resigned in for scandal. Men who disrespected him and simply disappeared. Kyoma looked at Tobachukwu, watched the color drain from his face as he finally understood what was happening. Min-ho stood slowly, his full attention landing on Tobachukwu like a predator selecting prey. "You," he said in English. "I didn't know," Tobachukwu stammered. "She didn't say she was married. We were just talking and—" "Talking?" Min-ho's smile was terrifying. "I watched you push her into that shelf. Security cameras are everywhere in my building." "Your building?" "I own Shinsegai. This floor, this store, every camera." Min-ho pulled out his phone, tapped twice, and suddenly every screen on the floor showed the same footage. Tobachukwu pushing Kyoma, the bag hitting her face, her falling. "Do you see that?" "Everyone sees it now." Tobachukwu's companion released his arm and stepped back quickly, her face pale. Min-ho's security chief handed him a tablet. He glanced at it, his jaw tightening. "Tobachukwu Okafor, Nigerian citizen, working in Seoul on a business visa sponsored by your girlfriend's father's company, currently living in Gangnam on her family's money." His eyes lifted, cold as winter. "You're not even paying your own rent." "Listen, I don't want trouble," Tobachukwu said, trying to sound confident but failing. "This is between me and Kyoma. Old history. It has nothing to do with you. Everything about my wife has to do with me." Min-ho's voice dropped lower, "especially when someone makes her bleed in my building." The Korean woman grabbed Tobachukwu's arm. "Appa, we should go, now." But Min-ho raised one hand, and security blocked their exit. "Nobody leaves until I say." He looked at Kyoma, still on the floor, and his expression softened just for her. "Tell me about him, Jagia. Tell me why I'm just now learning about an ex-fiancé who clearly hurt you badly enough that you're shaking from seeing him." Kyoma had never told Min-ho the full story. She'd given him basics when they met. Bad relationship, family problems, came to Korea for a fresh start. But not the depth of the betrayal, not the shame that still lived in her bones. Looking at him now, she knew he deserved the truth. "His name is Tobachukwu Okafor. We were engaged for 8 months. He convinced my parents to plan a big traditional wedding. Convinced them to pay for everything up front because his family had already paid bride price." Her voice shook. 2 weeks before the wedding, he emptied our joint account. Took 40 million naira my parents had saved their whole lives. Took the bride price that was supposed to be returned if the wedding was cancelled. Took everything and disappeared to America. Minho's hands clenched into fists. My father had a heart attack. My mother couldn't face our community. Everyone said we were foolish, showing off that we deserved it. Tears ran down Kiyoma's face. I worked 3 jobs trying to pay back the bride price his family claimed they never received. Sold everything I owned. My family lost our house, lost everything, and I lost myself. Kiyoma, stop lying, Tobachukwu interrupted. Your father gave me that money to invest. It's not my fault the business failed. You told me you were going to start an export business, Kiyoma said, her voice stronger now. But you used the money to pay for your master's degree in America. I found the receipts, your school records, everything. Minho's phone appeared in his hand. He made 1 call, spoke 3 sentences in rapid Korean, then hung up. I just had someone pull your financial records. University of Texas, full tuition paid in cash, same month as your wedding date. A car purchased, an apartment deposit. All in Austin. His smile was dangerous. You're right. The business did fail, because there never was one. Tobachukwu's face went red. You can't just access private records. That's illegal. I can do anything I want. Minho stepped closer. Do you know what I do? My real business? Some kind of tech company, I heard. Minho laughed, the sound cold. I control information, money, power. I decide who succeeds and who fails in this city. I own judges, politicians, CEOs. I make people disappear when they become problems. He tilted his head. And you just became my biggest problem. The Korean woman was backing away now, her hands shaking. I didn't know, she said in Korean. I swear, I didn't know he had this history. Your father is CEO of Mirai Tech, Minho said to her in Korean. Does he know you're dating a con artist? Should I call him right now? She went completely white. Please don't. I'll leave. I'll end it. Please. Go, Minho said simply. She ran for the elevator, leaving Tobachukwu standing alone. Minho turned back to him. Now it's just us. Man to man. You stole from the woman I love. You destroyed her family. You left her broken and ashamed. His voice went quieter, more dangerous. Do you know what happened after you left her? I don't care what... Minho grabbed Tobachukwu by the throat, lifting him slightly off the ground. Security moved to block the view from other shoppers, but nobody was intervening. She lived in a 1-room apartment the size of a closet, taught English 10 hours a day, and worked nights at a convenience store. Sent everyone back to Nigeria to pay your debt. Ate ramyun twice a day because she couldn't afford real food. Cried herself to sleep every night because she thought she was worthless. He released Tobachukwu, who collapsed, gasping. That's the woman you destroyed. The strongest, most beautiful person I've ever met. And you made her believe she was nothing. Minho crouched beside him. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to return every naira you stole, with interest. You're going to write a letter to her family explaining everything. You're going to post a public apology on every social media platform you have. And then you're going to leave Korea and never come back. You can't make me do any of that. I already froze your bank accounts, canceled your visa, called your employer. Minho checked his watch. In about 20 minutes, immigration will be here to escort you to the airport. You'll be deported for visa violations. I found 3, by the way. Very sloppy. Tobachukwu's eyes went wide with panic. You're lying. You can't do all that in 10 minutes. I made 4 phone calls. That's all it takes when you own the right people. Minho stood, brushing off his suit. Or you can do what I asked. Return the money. Apologize. Leave with some dignity. Your choice. I don't have 40 million naira anymore. I spent it. Then you'll work it off. I'm sending you a payment plan, monthly installments directly to Kiyoma's family for the next 10 years. Miss one payment and I'll find you, wherever you are. The threat in his voice was absolute. Do we understand each other? Tobechukwu nodded frantically, his earlier arrogance completely gone. Yes. Yes, I understand. I'll do everything. Just please don't deport me. I need more time to pack, to arrange things. You have 48 hours. Minho pulled out his phone again. My assistant will contact you with wire transfer details. The first payment is due in 1 week. Don't make me come looking for you. He turned away from Tobechukwu like he was nothing, dismissed and forgotten, and returned to Chioma. His hands were gentle again as he helped her stand, his touch careful on her arms. Can you walk, Jagia? She nodded, but her legs were shaking. The adrenaline was wearing off and everything hurt. Her lip, her shoulder, her heart. Minho lifted her effortlessly into his arms, cradling her against his chest. I've got you, he whispered in Korean. You're safe now. I promise you're safe. As he carried her toward the elevator, Kiyoma looked back at Tobechukwu one last time. He was on his knees on the marble floor, security standing over him, his face buried in his hands. The man who'd made her feel worthless was broken, and she felt nothing. No satisfaction. No anger. Just emptiness where he used to live in her head. The drive home was quiet. Minho held her hand the entire time, his thumb tracing circles on her palm. They lived in a penthouse in Gangnam that overlooked the entire city, all glass and luxury that still sometimes took her breath away. Inside, Minho dismissed the staff with a quiet word in Korean and led Kiyoma to their bathroom. He sat her on the marble counter and carefully cleaned the cut on her lip with antiseptic, his movements precise and gentle. I'm sorry I didn't tell you about him, Kiyoma said quietly. About what happened in Nigeria. You don't have to apologize for trauma. Minho's eyes met hers. Pain doesn't come with a timeline. You tell me things when you're ready. I was so ashamed. My family lost everything because I was stupid enough to trust him. You weren't stupid. You were trusting. There's a difference. He dabbed ointment on her lip. He was the one who failed. Not you. Never you. Tears spilled down her cheeks. When I saw him today, I felt like that broken girl again. Like I was back in that tiny apartment, eating noodles and crying, like I hadn't changed at all. Minho cupped her face, his thumbs wiping away tears. Listen to me, Kiyoma. You are the strongest person I know. You survived something that would have destroyed most people. You left everything you knew, learned a new language, built a new life in a foreign country. You did that alone. That takes incredible strength. I don't feel strong. Because he's a ghost from a past that still haunts you. But ghosts can be banished. He kissed her forehead softly. And I'm very good at making problems disappear. She wrapped her arms around his neck, holding him close. This man who could destroy lives with a phone call was infinitely gentle with her, who understood her pain without judgment, who loved her not despite her scars, but because they proved she was a survivor. Thank you, she whispered against his shoulder, for everything, for protecting me, for loving me when I thought I was unlovable. You saved yourself, Jagia. You were already whole when I found you. He pulled back to look at her. I just recognized what everyone else was too blind to see. You're extraordinary. That night, they lay in bed together, the Seoul skyline, glittering through floor-to-ceiling windows. Minho held her close, his hand running through her hair in soothing strokes. What happens now? Chioma asked. With Tobechukwu? He'll pay back every naira he stole. I've already arranged for the money to be sent directly to your father's account. The first installment will arrive next week. Kioma sat up, staring at him. Next week? But you said monthly payments? Minho smiled. I lied to him. I'm covering it all. Consider it a wedding gift to your family. Minho, that's 40 million naira. That's almost $100,000. It's nothing compared to what you're worth. He pulled her back down against him. Your family suffered because of him. They'll have their money back, their dignity back, and you'll never have to carry that shame again. I can't let you just give away that much money. It's our money. What's mine is yours. Always. He kissed her hair. Besides, I didn't do it for him. I did it for you, so you can finally be free of him. She was crying again, but these were different tears. Relief, gratitude, love so overwhelming she couldn't contain it. I love you, she whispered. So much it scares me sometimes. I love you more. His arms tightened around her. You're my everything, Kioma. The only thing in this world that matters more than power, or money, or empire. You. They fell asleep tangled together. Two survivors who'd found each other across continents and cultures, who'd built something beautiful from broken pieces. 3 days later, Kioma received a message from her mother. Nah, I don't understand. Money came into your father's account. 40 million naira. The exact amount we lost. Did you do this? Kioma looked at Minho, who was reading the news on his tablet, and smiled. No, Mama. God did it. He's just giving back what was stolen. Her mother's response came quickly. Chukwu Dima. God is good. Your father is crying. We can finally hold our heads up again. Thank you, NWM. Thank you. Minho glanced up from his tablet. Everything okay? Everything is perfect. She crossed to him, settling into his lap. You gave my family their dignity back. How do I ever repay that? Stay with me. Love me. Let me protect you and cherish you for the rest of our lives. His hand cupped her cheek. That's all the payment I need. As Kioma kissed him, she thought about the journey that brought her here. The pain, the shame, the slow rebuild. Meeting Minho at a language exchange cafe. Falling in love despite her fears. Discovering that he was more than he appeared. Marrying him in a private ceremony that her family attended via video call because she couldn't afford to fly them to Korea. He'd flown them here last month, surprised her with their presence at their belated traditional ceremony, given her father the respect he deserved. Paid bride price that made the elders whisper in amazement, restored her family's honor in their community. Tobachukwu had tried to destroy her, but she'd risen from those ashes stronger, found love in an unexpected place, built a life beyond her wildest dreams. And now, wrapped in Minho's arms, she finally understood what her grandmother used to say. Ihia nagi egbugi na emeka isieke. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. She'd survived. She'd thrived. And she'd never let anyone make her feel worthless again. If you made it to the end of this story, thank you for watching. Hit that like button if you believe in second chances and the power of real love. Subscribe for more stories about women who rise above their pain and find happiness. Drop a comment telling me what you loved most about Kioma and Minho's story. And remember, your past doesn't define your future. You are stronger than you know. See you in the next video.